So as we tell you, we stream on Twitch and on YouTube, and normally it's just two not very athletic guys. That's what you see. There is an athletic guy to be seen now if you are streaming on Twitch or YouTube. His name is Hunter Pence, and he's nice enough to join us here on Damon and Ratto in studio. Hunter, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing? It's good to have you.
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for turning on my mic too. You know, the best, but everything's good. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. How are you?
We're fantastic. It's really good to have you. Obviously, you got a big weekend coming up, man. The Giants are doing you quite the honor of putting you on the Wall of Fame. It's going to happen on Saturday afternoon. And tell us how this kind of all came together.
Yeah, Larry called me and just kind of told me that, they've decided to honor me in this fashion. And, I was just thrilled and grateful to, obviously just a legendary organization, a wonderful organization to play for. City I absolutely love. Met my wife here and got married here. Won 2 World Series here. Had some amazing teams and teammates and fans. And it feels like a family to me. And so just really humbled and honored to have the opportunity to be acknowledged in this way. It's my name's next to some of the greats of all time, and pretty special.
How did they approach you with it? Did they sort of try to ease into it, or did they just blurt it out? By the way, we're putting your name up on the wall.
No, Larry said, hey, I'm very excited to tell you. He's just like, I need to talk to you. So I had no idea what it was about, so I called him, and he just kind of was like, we're thrilled to honor you in this way, and, are you willing to do the ceremony or whatever the case may be? I'm obviously like, yeah, whenever we can make it happen, let's make, I'm just absolutely overjoyed and thrilled. So yeah, that's it. It's just a phone call, and Larry kind of letting me know. And, the more I get to learn about it, the even cooler it is to me, the fact that this was Peter McGowan's idea, and the fact that they put, the plaques on the wall outside the stadium, and they want people to be able to experience some of their favorite players for free, and you can go take a picture next to whoever, and they write a little story about whatever your tenure was. And so I mean, that means a lot to me, and in and of itself, and the fact that it's with the Giants organization, how much I love and align with the city of San Francisco and the Giants fan base.
I'm a sucker for a plaque, too. I got to be honest with you. There's never a plaque on anything that I don't kind of want to walk up to and read and
right?
learn a
Me
little
too,
something.
actually. I love plaques.
If you have a plaque on a rock, I'm reading about that rock.
There's something interesting here. What do I need to know about this rock or this insect? I fall into the plaque trap as well.
I've never been a plaque. Congratulations on your plaque status.
Do we need to make you a plaque? Can we get a plaque for...
Sure.
I feel like you deserve a plaque for your great talking and your wonderful voice.
There's some on my teeth if you want to have a starter.
Yeah, that's about as close as we get to plaque. 4-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 8 years in your 14-year career with the Giants. Beyond the titles, which obviously affect relationships greatly, there was a love, I thought, between you and Giants fans before the titles happened. Like, there was a connection between a very unique city, a very unique fan base, and a very unique player. Not just the style and how you played and how you performed, but how you moved, how you hit, how you did everything. You were like in a group of one, and it felt like that helped Giants fans sort of embrace you before, the real success even followed.
It does. It did feel like a perfect fit, like a perfect puzzle piece fit for more than one reason. And obviously, like you said, one of one, like everything I did was a little bit quirky, a little bit awkward. And honestly, I feel like the city of San Francisco is very hyper creative, very open-minded, very into, a little bit of uniqueness. And that's what a lot of my friends will say. Yeah, you're just unique out there, Hunter. And so I think that I felt very welcomed. I felt that it was celebrated that I was a little bit different, and I felt comfortable in my own skin. And San Francisco helped me kind of be okay with who I am, that I am a little bit different, that I'm into, some nerd culture, and like I love Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering, and I want to ride a scooter and, plant trees and surf, and I'm a little bit of a hippie and kind of thing, but
easier to do that here than back in Texas?
A little bit different, yeah. I feel very welcome and okay to be myself, and I just, like I said, I align a lot with this city, and the fan base was just ultra supportive, and I've never lost a game and had fans be like, "It's okay, we love you, good effort, you're going to get them tomorrow," and like that just that different perspective and mentality, and where fans would sometimes tell me when I was really down, like, "Hey, we believe in you guys. Y'all are going to be okay. Like, thanks for what you're doing." And there was multiple times that fans have really, picked me up, and you don't get that anywhere. And, I think that part of that was that we had kind of answered the call a couple of the years. But it really, if I got into the stories of fans and how much fun I've had getting to talk and hear stories. And I remember in 2012, actually, when I did come over, the energy of that team and what they had done in 2010 and what we had going in 2012. I remember I walked into a restaurant and people were putting up their cameras, they were like kind of filming it or whatever, and some fan stood up and just said, "Let's go Giants," and they all, like, everyone started standing up and clapping, and I was just like, this is did not expect that, never had anything like that happen, but that energy of that 2012 team was something else.
When you were in Houston and then the brief time you were in Philadelphia, did you feel like you couldn't be yourself, or were you yourself and it just didn't play well?
I would say that it was just different. I definitely withheld, and I think everyone, to completely be yourself fully is very hard to do. To be completely free, to be yourself authentically 100% of the time, it's a challenge. And I wouldn't even say that I'm still always that. But in Texas, for sure, I was kind of, in a shell a little bit. And Philly, probably, kind of similar. And I definitely think that it helped heal me and helped me come out of my shell, just this environment.
Hunter Pence joining us here on 95.7 The Game. Sorry, Ray, I didn't know.
So what was the breakout moment in terms of how you felt you could express yourself here? Not the breakout moment as a player, but the breakout moment when you could just sort of take the weight off your shoulders and go, you know what? All I have to be is me.
I think it honestly, it wasn't like a come to San Francisco and immediately boom, but it was just like eye-opening experience, different mindset, different perspectives. And I have a very open mind and did a lot of learning and soul searching. I think, baseball, when you compete at the highest level, is somewhat of a lesson in self-mastery. Like, you have to learn to master yourself, because you just get beat up, and the expectation is to win every day, to win the World Series every day, and you're just never going to be able to live up to that, to please everyone. You can only give your best, and so you have to learn to master yourself to get the most out of yourself. If you want to be elite, if you want to do something different, you have to be bold. And I just think that, honestly, I have to give a lot of credit to Lexi as well, my wife, and her being like, "Hey, you have this other side of yourself that's not just baseball that would be, fans would like." And I think the welcome receptiveness of San Francisco kind of opened all of that up.
Why is your game?
Is this like are we going into like
why is your game changers? No, this is really good. This is, forget baseball. We'll talk about how to hit a baseball any other time. This is real life stuff. People can't relate to major league careers who are listening, but they can relate to, well, my wife gave me a little bit more confidence to be myself and, express myself, and other avenues that, this avenue in this city probably would be shut down, but in this city, that avenue is open to you. So it's a little different. Look, a lot of people come to San Francisco and they say things like, "Sure is beautiful, love the restaurants, fans are great, I really like it here." And then the minute that they can leave, they're gone. You stayed. Like, you really absolutely love San Francisco, and that makes you unique, because this is a very unique city that it's not one size fits all. It's not. It really isn't. So the fact that you get here, you have the ability, you have the financial wherewithal to put down roots wherever you want, pretty much in the world, and you choose to remain here, I think that means a lot to people.
Yeah, well, I'll always be in San Francisco, and I'm not here full time, and I'm looking to be here full time eventually. That's kind of the plan, is to hopefully get, I have a condo here, and I'm able.
Are you out of the Millennium Tower?
No, I'm still in the Millennium.
Are you leaning? You're leaning a little?
Probably. There was an earthquake yesterday. I felt the thing shake.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No, they're working on that, and you know, like, I'm not involved in all of that. It was perfect because there's, you know, good security for Alexis when you're playing.
Right.
But I want to have a yard, so I'm hoping to one day get a house. We have our place in Houston. We have our place here. We have a spot in Newport Beach where I'm learning to surf, and I'm learning to surf here. I got good enough that I can surf in San Francisco, and that means a lot to me. But I think we're most active in the community here, and we're looking to make this a full-time home at some point. But yeah, we will always be a part of San Francisco, and that's kind of the dream and the vision moving forward, is to have more time here.
So fans run up to you all the time and probably share with you their favorite Hunter Pence memory, either the broken slow-mo replay of the bat or the catch that you made in Lincecum's no-no, whatever it might be. Forget about every fan's favorite memory of you in San Francisco. What's your favorite memory of you in San Francisco?
By the way, I want to throw this out there before I answer this question. Is like, sometimes fans give me some heartfelt messages that literally bring chills, and almost like you're just like moved. Like this one lady on an airplane, I didn't know that she knew who I was, and she kind of gave a smile when she walked by my chair, and then she finally came back. I guess she brought up the courage, and she's like, I just want to tell you that, you know, I was living in China, and I would wake up at 8 a.m, and that's what time it was when your games were going on, and it really made me feel, I was really homesick, and it really made me feel at home, and y'all's teams meant the world to me, and I just wanted to thank you. And you're just like, whoa, you have no idea the impact. So I just, and a lot of times, like, I hate to bother you, and I just want to let everyone know that y'all always, like, it always means the world to me, and I appreciate that, because the massive effort that you put into giving your best and putting, you know, I searched the depths of my soul, and I love doing it, and there's plenty of self-interest in doing it, but I also had intention to bring joy and to inspire others and to inspire, you know, to do great things that impacted a collective. So that means the world to me, and I always appreciate it, and it doesn't bother me. But as far as, like, you want my favorite memory with the Giants?
Yeah. When you dream of the Giants, what's the dream that you have over and over again?
Well, there's like three of them that are like really, really stand out, and one of them was, you know, obviously we won Game 5 in 2012 against the Cardinals with Zito pitched an absolute gem, and I remember being on the flight coming back, and us just being like, the Cardinals are so pissed to be flying back right now, because welcome back to San Francisco. It was AT&T Park, now Oracle Park. Welcome to our park, and oh, by the way, good luck with Vogelsong and Kane. And like this flight, we're like fired up. They're pissed off. They have to take this flight. They have to play more games, and you're staring down Vogie and Kane. And Vogie pitched an absolute gem. It was October sunset. It was like a purplish sky, just the most beautiful sunset. It was like the 7th inning. I don't know if he had given up one or none, and we had scored a ton. And the fans were like shaking the fence over in right field. They like broke it down. It was like halfway leaning down. They were going so nuts, just chanting "Vogie, Vogie," and he was kind of like milking it a little bit, taking his time between pitches, acting like he was taking a deep breath and then letting it rip. And just that. And then when we got the last out running in on that moment, I was just like, there was so much momentum. And we were just like, we felt unstoppable. Like, it didn't matter. There was still a Game 7, but it felt like it was.
You were going to the World Series.
Like we were like, come get some Matt Cain, another game,
Scooter-O in the rain.
Yeah,
Scooter-O looking up in the rain.
And then I think the other two would be Michael Morse. You know, obviously the bromance. Like, love Michael Morse. We had so many good talks on the back of the plane. Just like really, really. Amazing teammate, an amazing year, and he had the oblique injury, and he worked his way back onto the roster. Hadn't really had an at bat in his first at bat. Boch has to put him up against Neshek, who's like got a 1-7, just a sidearm righty, absolutely filthy. And Boch just says to him, and like he does, he just has a knack for the perfect timing. He's like, "Well, Morse, I couldn't put you in a worse situation, but you're the best power bat I got. Go get him." and Morse just absolutely hits a bomb and just loses it. And we had always talked about like being the energy of already have won it. Like, we've already won this. This is where the sunflower seeds and the parade thing happened. Like, we're having a parade in the dugout because we're creating a parade. So I was like, be the vibration of it. And Morse just went nuts. Like, we had already won the game. He just tied it. And he was like running around like it was a walk-off homer. And we just went bananas in the dugout. It was so fun. And sure enough, you know, Ishikawa has the moment that it was like the next inning or maybe 2 innings after that where it was just absolute pandemonium. It literally was the first time I'd ever been a part of a moment where it felt like the earth was shaking. It was so loud.
It was something else. I was in the ballpark that night. It was amazing. It really was. Ray, were you feeling the vibration as well?
No, I don't do vibrations. That's reserved for players and fans. I'm up in the press box with the other stodgy old boats. Do you still watch a lot of baseball now? I mean, if you're sitting at home, will you turn a game on? And if not, how often do you?
So I watch a lot of baseball because I'm broadcasting, so I have to be, so
I'm just talking about for leisure.
Like leisure. I put it on in the background and like listen to it, but I don't, very rarely, unless it's a playoff game or like Giants Dodgers, am I like sitting down and watching like start to finish like you do when you're broadcasting. I'm typically watching highlights. I'll have it on to just, I like to have the broadcasters' voices in the house. I like to have, the game going on. So yeah, I would say I have them on, but I'm not like sitting and watching the whole thing. I'm just like keeping an eye on it while like cooking or cleaning or playing a video game or something. But I would say more than often I'm playing video games or reading a book or spending time with Lexi, and it's just on in the background. And we're just keeping up.
Dave Fleming is white noise.
I love all of their voices. I feel like it just warms the house. It just like awakens it. Like if it's just the staleness of not having the game on. It's definitely a privilege to have such great announcers. I think the Giants.
It's part of the soundtrack of summer. I mean,
exactly.
It really is.
They're legends. They're amazing, and it is the soundtrack of summer. And having the baseball game on just feels good.
Hunter Pence with us here in studio on 95.7 The Game. What was your aha moment with coffee? What turned coffee from a drink that you drink in the morning to something that you have taken on as a full-fledged lifestyle choice?
Well, so I started drinking coffee when I was like 12 because my dad always had the styrofoam cup when he was driving me to school. And I was always like, well, what is he drinking? And I remember tasting it, and it was awful.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, well, my dad's drinking it, so I'm going to keep drinking it. And it tasted like earth, and it made me feel like, I was like, oh, I'm tough. I can drink this earthy drink. And then I started liking it. And he didn't think I was ever going to like it, but he kept giving it to me. So, and then I think Alexis was like, hey, let's like start. I never really paid attention to the taste of it. I just ordered it and was like, whatever.
Just coffee. Like, think twice about it.
I'm just drinking the coffee. And then she was like, let's like start reviewing coffees. We travel a lot. Let's like start testing out what's the best coffee. And then it like opened this whole Pandora's box of a whole new world. And you like can't go back to just whatever coffee.
Right
anymore.
now, you're
Once
tweeting about flavor
this,
notes.
Yeah, now I'm like a taste. Like I'm tasting everything. I'm like, what do you taste? What are the notes? Yeah, I do that. I love that. I live for that.
Was that a little strap of leather? What is that? What is that?
I hope not. I'm looking more for like a blueberry pancake.
Ooh, solid for breakfast choices.
Strawberry syrup.
So
lemon drop.
So you are to coffee what some of my more irritating friends are to wine. You will find ways to describe a cup of coffee that far exceed what the coffee itself might be.
No, I think that's what the coffee is and the wine. Those notes are in there. You just gotta. The more you focus on it, the more you taste. But taste is perception, so everyone perceives something differently. But yeah, no, I'm that annoying coffee wine drinker taster person.
You mix them together ever?
Never.
Oh, coward.
That sounds not. Have you mixed them together?
Oh God, no. But you're the expert.
You're right. I'm a coward. I don't really look to. But I wouldn't be surprised. There are like, what is it, orange juice and like espresso or something. Like they were doing like that was like a whole thing, and everyone says it actually tastes really good.
Like I can't even get.
Oh, that sounds like an accident.
It's like the sake bomb. You know how you put like the sake in the beer and then you drink it. Well, they were doing that with espresso and orange juice. So it's like orange juice bombs in the morning, or espresso bombs in the morning, sake bombs at night.
Did you ever have the Wisconsin lunch bucket?
Never had that. No.
It's like you take a little amaretto and you drop it into a beer with orange juice in it, and it's called a Wisconsin lunch bucket.
Is it good?
Yeah, it actually is.
Some of these things surprise you. Pineapple on pizza? I haven't tried it.
It doesn't make any sense, but it's not that bad. I loved the Hunter Pence sign, passive-aggressive taunting that you got when you went to, you would go into some of the most savage stadiums, and they would still have the funniest, cleverest signs against you. What is your favorite Hunter Pence does or doesn't sign that you've run across? To me, I still think Hunter Pence brings 13 items into the express lane. I think I saw that in New York.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Do you have any favorites?
Yeah, but there was a couple that really got a good chuckle out of me, and I remember we left New York, and it started with a series with the Mets. I was like, all right, that's over with. Like, that was fun. I'm going to Milwaukee and thinking it was done, and sure enough, they had Hunter Pence signs. I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this in Milwaukee again. Like, that was fun, and I responded to it and made some up that I thought were funny as well. And in Milwaukee, they have the sausage race or whatever,
yeah.
and someone held up Hunter Pence chooses hamburger in the hot dog race, and I thought that was pretty clever. So the ones that like aligned with the city, like Kansas City, they had one. Hunter Pence thinks he's in Kansas, and that was pretty clever. There was a couple of them. Hunter Pence is all about that treble, because at the time,
yes,
it's all about that bass was the song of the season. So there was just like a couple, get you a chuckle.
You had a couple of struggling seasons, not for you, but for the team.
I had plenty for
in
myself,
Houston.
too. I struggled a lot.
But I'm talking about more sort of the team environment where you're kind of out of it on the 1st of September. I mean, sort of the way the Giants are this year. Was it hard for you to go to the ballpark then? Did you need the smell of a race to feel good about being a player, or you felt good about a player every day no matter what?
I think you feel like, I wouldn't say it's hard to go to the ballpark, but you definitely feel like you let down. Obviously every season the goal is to win the World Series, so you feel like a failure. Like you're going to work, and it's all about your numbers, your professionalism. But the Giants were so extraordinarily good at like continuing to push to win no matter what. Even in the season where we got Joey Bart, we had the second to last worst, like the last game, Pablo hit a walk-off homer, and I just remember having Sabian calling us into his office, like, it's important to keep winning in that push. And so we were never just going out there like it's okay to lose or we want to get a better draft pick, which some fans will be like, oh, it's okay if now that they're out of it, let's just lose more. They always pushed us, and I love that. And it was always fun. Like, we finished strong here, then we go into next season with that momentum. Like, we're proven, like, we're seeing David VR have these at-bats. He's proven what he can do. Brinson, they just beat the Braves today. Logan Webb, these things. How do we build a team that's going to make the playoffs next year? So there was always a lot to be excited for. And when you just love baseball and love challenging yourself and, go spoil someone else's season, that is fun. And so I was always, I definitely felt like, I put a lot on my shoulder. Like, it was never enough for me. However good or bad I did, it was always like not enough. Like, unless you win the World Series. So you're always not enough as a player, in my opinion.
What's next? What do you want to do next, Hunter Pence? You can do anything you want. The world is your oyster. You want to be in studio. You want to be in the booth. You want to be in the stadium calling games. You could do all 3, all 4, all 5. If you want to go you go to Hollywood, do whatever you want. You'll be a podcaster. Do whatever you want. You want to open up a coffee shop. You could do that. What is the end game here, Hunter?
The things that I love are the simplest things. I do love broadcasting. I want to be a good husband. I want to make sure that Lexi's happy and have time for her. So surfing, drinking espresso and coffee, being around baseball and sharing some of that knowledge and that passion. Video games is something that I really love. So those are like my easy. If I was to go really deep and really give you my authentic, like, I love like meditating and exploring consciousness. I'm reading all sorts of wild books and really enjoying diving deeper into my spiritual journey or whatever you would call it. So that's all really fun for me. So those are the things that matter.
It feels like your chakras are aligned. I gotta be honest. I can see your third eye just looking at me, man. I absolutely can. I really can. You seem to be very at peace.
I wish that I had. I'm trying to open the third eye, man. I'm telling you. I just love that. Just more joy, more good experience, and learning more about life and purpose, and trying to just plant trees, clean up the oceans. I got philanthropic, or I can't even say that.
There it is.
Yeah. I want to help clean the oceans. I got to do a cool thing with the Bay Keepers. They're just a good organization and keep the bay clean, keep the water clean, and just try to leave the earth in a better place before my time is up.
Well, I tell you what, you're certainly going to at least leave a plaque.
Hey,
and that's where it all starts. It's going to be on the wall this Saturday. Ceremony, probably about an hour and a half before the game starts out there? What's your day going to be like on Saturday? Do you know?
You know what? I'm just going one day at a time. Like, I got this interview, locking in, knocking it out, but I have she calls herself the Tom Brady of scheduling. You met her maybe briefly before, Mallory.
Yes, Mallory, the Tom Brady of scheduling.
Because she's just like, go here, go here, go here. I can't. If I get, I'm your classic. Just athlete. This like I can focus on one thing really good. If you give me another thing, it's too much. Like one thing at a time. So I'll be ready for hopefully entertaining everyone and saying thanks to all the fans and all the people that helped me along the way, because I wouldn't have been the player I was. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, and I'm super excited to tell a little bit of the story in the brief little time I get and say thank you.
Well, thanks so much for coming on in here. We're certainly happy to have had your focus for a little while, and good luck with your third eye.
I appreciate that. I'm going to need it.
Thank you so much. Hunter Pence here on 95.7 The Game. Awesome to have him in, and I'm sure he would love to see you at his Wall of Fame ceremony on Saturday down at the ballpark. Go on down and say, Hunter, hell of a career. Way to go. You got a plaque forever. Buy him a coffee.